JW turn G. I look, in one of the last videos I had talked about, or I think they mentioned apostate or apostasy, right? So I typed it in here just to see what the fuck, like, because I wanted to give y'all like a real definition, okay? And here we go, apostasy right here. So it says the term in Greek comes from a verb literally meaning to stand away from. The noun has a sense of desertion, abandonment, or rebellion. In the Christian Greek scriptures, apostasy is used with regard to those who defect from true worship. So an apostate or apostasy is anything religious or spiritual that's not coming from Jehovah's Witnesses, right? Anything other than them, okay? Because when you're a Jehovah's Witness, you grow up here, everything comes from this website. This is your homepage for everything. And so now I don't know what I be doing is considered apostasy or not. I don't know, because I'm just reading the fuck what they putting out and just breaking the shit down, telling you what it really means. What is this? Is this a cow? I don't understand that, but whatever. Oh, we got a little video too. Bad. Let's get it. Okay, cool. So Satan and those under his influence often mix lies with truths in an attempt to undermine our faith. Okay, and remember, as one of Jehovah's Witnesses, this is all you know. So you take what they're saying here as the absolute truth from the creator of the universe. Seriously, I know that sounds wild, but that's really how they see the shit. Okay? So you can't go and do research and look up other things. You just have to take whatever they're telling you, because you cannot look outside of them for any information, okay? Oh, it's right here. For example, the Assyrians use half-truths and outright lies to discourage Jehovah's people. Who talking about Assyrians, bro? Like, what? Apostates use similar tactics today. As the Assyrians? Don't nobody even know who they were. How? Whatever. How should we react to apostate teachings? Treat them as the poison they are. Here we go. Never read them, reply to them, or repeat them. Be quick to detect information that is designed to raise doubts about Jehovah and his organization and reject it. I'm going to read that again. Treat them as the poison they are. Never read them, reply to them, or repeat them. Be quick to detect information that is designed to raise doubts about Jehovah and his organization and reject it. Okay? So when you have that viewpoint or that attitude, you're not even finna get anything outside of this website the time of day. Right? Because you're rejecting the shit. You shutting it down. So this is literally all you know. Oh, we got a video. Man, what the hell? Oh shit, hold on. Just the video. Oh, look, we got questions. Okay, so keep these questions in mind as we watch this video, guys. Fuck out of here. Why do we need to be on alert if we use internet forums? Oh, look, there we go. Information from the internet. And how can we follow advice at Romans 16:17? Let me say this, too. As a kid, growing up in the organization, you're taught about apostates, right? And they'll show you videos of people protesting outside the kingdom halls, people forming barricades, lining up, chanting, doing shit. And as a kid, that's like the scariest shit, right? Like, I remember we'd be getting ready to go to a meeting or convention or something, and I'd be like 10 years old, like, damn, I hope ain't no apostates out there. Like, I hope the niggas ain't protesting, you feel me? And I've never seen it in person. All the 30 years that I went, I never saw anybody do this shit in person. But they show you a lot of videos, and they make this shit scary, no cap. So let's see what this video here talking about. Hopefully it ain't too long, because I ain't trying to make like a part 2. Oh, 5 minutes, let's get it. Okay, let's see what we talking about.
First, let's talk about apostasy, and we'll call it spiritual poison.
And so off the bat, right, and they said it was poison in a little definition. To the Jehovah's Witnesses, spiritual and religion is the same thing, right? So your spirituality is how deep in the religion you are. Like if you're studying the Bible every day, if you're going to the meetings, if you're counting, you're a spiritual person. So they have that as the same definition as religious.
Now think about poison. What's the best way to avoid being poisoned? Well, we have to recognize poison when we see it and then avoid it. And the same principle applies to teachings that could destroy our faith. That's not always easy. No, not many of our brothers.
And I want you to keep in mind too. Like try to put yourself, and I know it's damn near impossible, right? I obviously do it because I grew up in it. But try to put yourself in the position of a witness where you don't know anything outside of this. This is all you know. This is coming from the creator of the universe. So anything, this dude right here, this brother, he was put in this position by the creator of the universe. So anything he's saying is coming from the creator. So it's absolute truth. So you have to go by what they're saying. Like this is how you are taught, okay?
Sisters would deliberately get involved with apostates. But it could happen without our realizing it. You know, we receive letters at times from brothers and sisters who are troubled by something they saw on a webpage. An accusation, a rumor about the society or about the organization. And the problem is, they had no idea that apostates were behind it. It's tricky, because the apostates don't advertise, you are now on an apostate webpage. They often pose as sincere witnesses who just have questions or concerns. And some who aren't really apostates can cause just as much trouble as the apostates do by their negative talk and criticism. Brothers, we need to be on the alert.
Yeah, dog.
This is serious. Suppose that, out of curiosity, you get into a discussion forum with individuals who claim to be Jehovah's Witnesses. Now, maybe they are, maybe they aren't. You don't know. You've never met them. And someone starts asking questions. What did you think of last month's broadcast? Did you really find it encouraging? Or do you think the brothers who write Watchtower articles are living in the real world? I wonder if they realize just how hard it is out here. And then a few others join in with their own negative comments. Now, you don't know whether these individuals are apostates or just brothers and sisters who are in serious spiritual trouble. But does it matter? How does it make you feel? When you leave the forum, do you feel upbuilt?
Yeah.
Determined to expand your ministry? More convinced than ever that Jehovah has an organization that you love and that you're delighted to be a part of. You feel honored to be a part of that organization. Or does the experience leave you sad,
I promise it doesn't.
uneasy, uncomfortable?
And see, I mean, let me shut up. Let me just play the shit. But that's what I mean. It's like you cannot go outside of the organization or anything that they provide for anything because it's not provided through them. They want you to read and believe and study and watch everything from them because that way they know what, if they make a video, if they write an article, they know what's in it, so they know where your mind is going to go off of that, right? If you're taking in information from here and there and other, they don't know what the fuck you're taking in, so you might come back with some flawed ass fucking thinking, fucking up the shit that they got going on, and they don't want that.
Now, someone might say, I need to get involved in that forum so I can help those people. They shouldn't be together. Even if they aren't apostates, they're not good for one another. Staying in that forum to help someone is like holding his hand while he drinks poison and then having some yourself so he doesn't have to drink alone. We need to follow the advice recorded at Romans chapter 16, verse 17. Now think of this imaginary forum that we just described in the light of Romans chapter 16 and verse 17.
Okay.
Remember, there's all kinds
Damn, okay, hold on. I don't know what that scripture says off top, right? But, fuck, I forgot what I was going to say. Damn it.
of negative talk flying around in this forum. You don't know who's behind it. And here's what it says
Oh,
in
I
Romans
got
16.
it. Okay, it came back to me. Remember, he's going to read the scripture and he's going to translate that shit literal, right? Or however he translated, he's going to translate it to fit his agenda. Okay? And that's, man, I'm getting off here. But it just sparked something. I don't remember it for the end. Okay, I'm just playing.
17. Now I urge you, brothers, to keep your eye on those who create divisions and causes for stumbling, contrary to the teaching that you have learned, and avoid them. Now think about that for. Does it create divisions? Yes.
Does the organization?
Is it a cause for stumbling? Could be.
Is the organization?
Is it contrary to what we have learned? Do we even have to answer that question?
Is the organization?
Now, whether it's intended or not, the effect will be to weaken our faith. So what do? What does Paul tell us to do here at the end of verse 17? He says, avoid them.
Okay.
Now,
And so the Jehovah's Witnesses would translate that scripture to mean exactly what he was saying. To avoid the forums, to avoid apostates, anything outside of the Jehovah's Witnesses that could weaken your faith. Okay? Now, if you were to ask a Catholic to translate that scripture, they probably have something different. If you ask the Protestant, they probably have something different. If you ask the Baptist, they probably have something different. So I feel like what happened with religion, I feel like how it started was somebody, okay, because look, I always feel like in 100 years, let's say somebody finds an old Harry Potter book, right? And they're like, oh shit, you know, there was wizards and Dumbledore was God and whatever, right? They translate it any way they want, right? But obviously Harry Potter is just stories. They're made up stories, right? It's just a book full of stories. And so I feel like what happened was back in the day, somebody found the Bible or read the Bible and they decided that they were going to translate it. And so he started translating it, whoever it was, right? And he told somebody and they were fucking with it. And they were like, oh man, y'all like that. Like that makes sense. Like you helping me get close to God. Okay, cool. And then he told somebody else and then they formed a little group, right? And so they had a little group. And then somebody else started reading the Bible and translating it too, but they translated it different. And then somebody else found them and they was fucking with it. So now they had a group. And then one group called themselves Christians, another group called themselves Catholics, another group called themselves whatever, and they just translated the scriptures to fit whatever agenda that they had going, right? It could have started as a genuine Bible discussion, but over time, these groups started to grow, and the people that were over them realized how much power they had over these people because of what they were reading to them. So they were like, damn, we got control and power of these people, and we know everything in the world runs off of power and control. Right? And they probably found out that they could start charging these people for these translations, so now they're making money, right? And now the government, or whoever the higher-ups, and so it just becomes one big crazy-ass thing. Because how does everybody read the Bible but believe something different, right? Or he's talking about divisions. That's exactly what religion does. Because to control people, everybody knows divide and conquer. So the people have to be divided. That's just part of that's just what happens, right? So now you got these people here, Jehovah's Witnesses, who think that they're the true religion, just like every other religion thinks they're the true religion. And they throwing out this shit to keep you in loop with them. They don't want you going outside of them because you might read some shit and then leave. And they don't want you to leave. They want you to stay there because they can control you when you're there. Yeah. Hey, I be spitting sometimes. I ain't even gonna say sometimes. The majority of the time I be spitting. I'm just play this shit.
I'd like to say a kind word to some who may be involved in discussion forums. You may like to use this medium to blow off steam, so to speak. Maybe there are little things in the congregation that are happening that you wonder about, or decisions the elders have made that you wonder about, and so you get involved in the forum and you blow off steam, and after that you feel better.
Okay.
But what about others in the forum? How do they feel? Wouldn't you feel awful if negative comments you made were responsible for someone leaving the truth?
I would feel awful for lying to people about the truth. Honestly. When I was a witness, I didn't even, first off, I wasn't trying to knock on nobody's door, right? Because you gotta do that Saturday morning, like a nigga tired from work, like it's the morning, I ain't even trying to wake up like that, right? But it was always weird to me to knock on this person's door and try to tell them about the Bible or their life or what they should or shouldn't be doing. When I'm like, I need to worry about myself. I need to worry about my own life. I feel bad lying to people about the truth, not this.
I know you wouldn't want that to happen. So please, be careful about what you say.
Y'all don't feel bad for brainwashing?
Now, another person might say, well, I can see where those warnings about apostates apply to so-and-so. He's weak, but don't worry about me. I'm spiritually strong. I can handle it. That's like a weightlifter, thinking that he can drink a vial of poison and it won't hurt him because he's so big and strong.
That's a dumbass comparison. That's like a weightlifter who thinks he can drink a vial of poison because he's big and strong. What kind of fucking example is that? Damn. I rewinded it. Fuck. Hold on. Where was I at? Yeah. Okay. Yep, I'm already right there.
He's strong. I can handle it. That's like a weightlifter, thinking that he can drink a vial of poison and it won't hurt him because he's so big and strong.
That makes no sense.
We are not so strong, so spiritual, so intelligent, that we can't be affected by the poison of apostate ideas.
And remember, anything that you do that's not with Jehovah is wrong. That's why he's saying we're not so intelligent. We're not so, because they want you to go with Jehovah. They don't want you to be independent. They want you to have to depend on the religion. So without the religion, you're not strong. You're not intelligent, right? Because you're looking at that shit. Oh, that's bad. It's gonna corrupt you. It's gonna corrupt your mind. That's what they say, right? Because they want your mind to be controlled by them. Man, this shit is crazy, yo. JW turn G.